A loaf of bread costs 50% more today than it did before the pandemic. Ground beef is up almost 50%.
Now, you see Kamala Harris is running against Donald Trump, but this is during Joe Biden's administration. She's been in Joe Biden's cabinet for the past 3.5 years, and this has happened. So, not making this a political channel, but just pay attention. And with that, what's happening in crypto crew? Sean's coming back at you. Let's get straight into it. First update from the charting guy. September 2024 through March of 2025 is going to be very similar and probably more bullish than September of 2023 to March of 2024. Well, if we look at the charts, what happened between September of 23 to 24? And if we go from September of 23, we see went down to about 25,000 and then it ran all the way up to about $73,000. So are we going to see a massive run up? Look at a percent return from that same time frame. We're looking at a 191% return for Bitcoin. So what if that same thing is going to occur now? Note one thing here. Bull market support band, we fell below. People were calling for bearishness. And right now, same thing, below the bull market support band. One thing to note is we have had this uptrend that we've started way back in November of 22, stair stepping our way up, utilizing this orange line as support. At the current time of this recording, this line's around 44,000. Will Bitcoin have another $14,000 drop and use this as support before getting back above that bull market support band? That is the bigger question. But if we go up another 190% from where we are right now, that would be taking us up to a Bitcoin target of 170,000. Definitely bullish. So we're seeing September 2023 and 2024, everything's almost identical. Are you bullish enough? Max Kaiser is speculating here, saying, what if MicroStrategy moved to El Salvador? He's saying shareholders should demand it. Don Leclerc is giving his latest on mstr. Whether it ends up in El Salvador, maybe an office will be there. The headquarters right now are in the US, but $2 billion are being raised right now at the market equity offering program. That's another $2 billion Bitcoin buy from MicroStrategy. At the current prices, that's another 25,000 to probably 35,000 Bitcoin. Say in the middle, 30,000. That'll take MicroStrategy over 250,000 Bitcoin on its company holdings. An update from Rickus. Just give it time. Trying to see the bigger picture. This cycle is pretty clear on both fronts. So what's he looking here at this chart? He's looking at the DXY and comparing it to Bitcoin. Zooming out on the charts and looking at previous bull cycles, time frames, and everything. Look at 1204 days from the previous cycle peak, and 1204 days we were retesting that previous resistance before we blasted off. And then during the same time frame, the DXY put in a higher low, showing a bearish divergence and then fell through a cliff. But what happened with Bitcoin? Rallied up. Well, look at this same thing right here. From the previous peaks, we've been retesting this not once but twice, and the DXY once again is putting in a bearish divergence. And what is going to come in the next so many months? If history's any indication, the DXY is going to fall through this uptrend, and the Bitcoin is going to have a continuation rally up towards and past 100,000. Another update, this is just more confirmation. As the DXY has the blue line cross over, it always has a retracement, which is bullish for Bitcoin. Every single time when it gets close, retracement, blast off for Bitcoin, crossover, blast off for Bitcoin. Look, we just had this crossover on this LMACD. So the DXY is going to see a downwards trend while Bitcoin gets that uptrend. And we've showed you this comparing the RSI and the LMACD. RSI just tends to hit this upper bound when the peak is in, but the LMACD also is putting in lower highs, but we haven't quite got there just yet. And the SMII hasn't reached that peak yet. We still have more upwards momentum to go into 2025. This is something to definitely pay attention to when the peak is near. Altcoin update, reaccumulation zone for Solana. This was when we went all the way down to below $10 per token. And it looks like a huge cup and handle pattern that's just forming with the Solana price action. So where is this technical target taking us? We drew this out for you. This orange line is roughly where the cup lid would be. If we use this as a technical target and pull this down to the candle body closes on the 2-week chart, this will take us up to roughly a $4,200 Solana. So if you take your calculator out, 4,200 divided by 143, that's a 29x from where we are right now. Is this realistic? We're looking at the Solana's current market capitalization. You're seeing $66 billion. So you do 66 times 29 is roughly 1914. That's $1.9 trillion. A 10x would be 660. A 20x would be almost 1.3 trillion. That's more than what is in Bitcoin's market capitalization right now. So the overall total crypto market cap, which is around $2 trillion, this is going to be the telltale. We'd have to see a huge influx of money coming through here to make that price action go up that high. So is this realistic? Potentially no. But if you look here, it's 1.618 on this fifth leg on that $1,800 mark. That could be programmed in, but $1,000 seems to be, where Solana definitely could go for the fifth leg, because the fifth leg is typically longer than the first leg, but not as long as the third leg. And this third leg, as you see, went up to roughly the almost $200 range, had this brief retracement. So the third leg is this orange line right here. So the fifth leg could go up to $1,000 easily, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, but that'll be definitely in the realm of possibility. And you see we've had the stochastic RSI, have a reset and also still putting in higher lows on the RSI. Are you prepared for what's about to happen? Without further ado, Luke Belmar is weighing in on the crypto space and overall crypto markets. Let's hear what Luke has to say.
Everything is open, everything is transparent, and everything is what? Peer-to-peer. It's the purest form of going back 2,000 years and transacting gold bar for gold bar in a digital format. It is the evolution of money. It is the natural evolution of money. Now you have the old system, the banking cartel, that takes a fee off of us transacting. So what is the rule or what is the need of a bank today? What is the purpose of a bank? Well, Luke, the purpose of the bank is to store your deposits. No, a bank does not hold deposits. If they hold deposits, why do they give you interest on your deposit? It's not a deposit. The moment they give you an interest on it, it's a loan. You're loaning them money, they're giving you an interest, they're taking that money, they're investing it. It's not a deposit, it's a loan. Once they give you interest, that thing becomes a liability on their balance. What you're seeing displayed on your checking account is just a record of how much the bank owes you. So the purpose of the bank isn't to hold deposits. Well, the purpose of the bank, Luke, is to fractionalize money. Well, no, that's not the purpose of the bank. It doesn't fractionalize money. Well, what's the purpose of the bank? The purpose of the bank is credit creation. It creates loans. It's in the business of buying and selling securities. So the bank is in the business of credit creation, and everything around us is getting inflated and more expensive due to the fact that we're creating credit that is being utilized to buy Louis Vuitton bags. It's not productive credit. It's not credit that adds to the GDP. We enter a situation whereby the dilution of our money becomes so big that we no longer trust it. But now we enter a very dangerous situation. If we don't have an alternative payment system, the tokenization or the programmability of digital money, like a central bank digital currency, becomes very scary. Because now they don't want to just issue the currency, they want to control the rules as to how you can use the currency. So for example, hey, Riz, you've already spent, you spent 2 hours already with the light on, now your light gets turned off because your curfew's up. And if not, we'll turn off your power bill and your cards won't work. Oh, you didn't get vaccinated? Oh, you went 5 kilometers past your house curfew? No worries, your cards just won't work. You have no freedom. Back in the day, at least you had cash. You could do whatever you wanted. So is that the system that you want? The answer is no. What is the alternative system to that digital revolution, that next advancement of money? In my opinion, is Bitcoin, digital currencies, things that are decentralized. So it's a little bit of how I've been thinking about and theorizing this idea of Bitcoin and rationalizing whether digital currencies, decentralized ones, fighting against centralized institutions are going to last. And I think people will fight for it.